Hi, welcome, and thank you for joining me. Today is October 30th, 2018, and it is Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. I thought it would be a good idea to start 30 minutes early with everything else that's been going on in the last couple of weeks. So let's get this started, shall we? We're going to start our screen share and pull up our trade that we've been working on, that I've been working on, which is New Zealand dollar, US dollar, or NZDUSD. And here's some fun news that I found over the last 24 hours. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? This is an entry price buy at a 0.01 lot size. And it went in effect in June of the 25th of 2018. My chart's telling me that I started at July 31st, which is not accurate. Every month, the chart changes of when a certain amount is put into the balance. So that's why it's where it's at. This trade, New Zealand dollar, USD, United States dollar, or NZDUSD, has been phenomenal and extremely exciting over the last few months. My stop loss is currently at a 7,000 pip size, and it is right there, 7,000 pips or $70 negative. That in essence means that's as much as I'm going to lose, and then the trade will be kicked out. That's why I'm not going to lose any more than 70 bucks. It's not a problem when I have $999.92 in my balance. It's not that big of a deal. My take profit, my stop loss is at 0.61310. My entry price was put in at 0.68310. Now my take profit is also 7,000 pips or $70, and it was put in at 0.75310. Now the reason I have the same ratio, the same amount on my stop loss as I do as my take profit, is it lowers the risk to profit. It's money management. So I can stay in this trade for long periods of time and not have to be concerned and looking at it every hour on the hour or every single day if I don't wish to. It can go as long as needed, and I can actually have a life. Isn't that what we all want? We don't want to be stuck to a computer or a smartphone. We want to be able to enjoy our life, do we not? Well, this is how I do it. This chart is what is called a naked chart because there are no indicators on here. All that's on here is the stop loss, the entry price, and the take profit. The reason for that is while I go through my nights, I go through grand mal seizures, which erase my memory. So I have to relearn from walking to moving to who I am, to where I'm going, to what I need to do, clear up to all the indicators, all the business part of it. And it can be quite overwhelming every single day. Good note on that. If I'm upset at someone one night, the next morning and I won't remember. So they get off the hook, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean. It doesn't come with me. The reason I stay in my daytime chart instead of going into the smaller time charts is here, right here. Let me show you. A 1 minute time chart. There's not a whole lot here. And I cannot really get a clear picture of this trade. A minute? If you're reading a book, you might have read the first sentence or two. Depending on how quickly you read, of course. It just doesn't get much information because it's got your interest. but that's about all it has. Going into a 5-minute time chart, once again, you might have read the first page, maybe the paragraph, depending on how quickly you read. For a 5-minute time chart, there's still not that much information. I do not know what this trade's going to do. And it's hard for me to see where to put the entry price, the stop loss, or the take profit due to not a clear picture. And with no indicators, it's even harder. So going into the 15-minute time chart, we have more movement, and I can definitely see what's happening to a degree. It only goes back to October 9th of this year, which wasn't too long ago. Still, once again, if you're reading that book, you might have made it through the first half of the chapter, depending on how large it is, of course, and how quick of a reader you are. In a 15-minute time chart, I still don't have a clear picture of what's going on here. Moving into the 30-minute time chart, now I've got a little bit of better idea of what to be looking for, but I'm still kind of wondering. And in that book, you might have read the first chapter all the way through, but there's so much more that you could read and so much more that you can get in a higher time chart. Going into the hour time chart, now we're getting somewhere. Now I can see some indicators. Now I can see some head and shoulders. Now I can see some support and resistance. However, it's still not a complete picture. And in that hour, you might have read the first 3 chapters of that book. Now, it's definitely got your attention, and you're probably wanting to read more to know more about the story. Moving into the 4-hour time chart, I have to be honest. Up to about 2.5 months ago, this is where I would stay because I thought I was doing pretty well until I realized it did not give me over a year. In fact, it's under a year. So I cannot tell you without the indicators exactly what's needed. Keep in mind, those that can mark up their charts and have indicators and have everything in place can trade on the 4-hour on down time charts without a problem. Without the indicators, it's a real high risk for you to be able to do that unless you have the experience as well as the knowledge and you know where you're going. So this is where I stay in the daytime chart. The daytime chart gives me clear back to February of 2014, pretty close to 5 years. And I can see how the trend is going because when you trade right, but you look left. So the best way to know what a trade is going to do is to get into the daytime chart, put your cursor right next to where it starts, and go left until you come back up to it. And as you can see how this trade is moving, it is turned around. Now, here's the good news. Yesterday at this time, the trade was actually at a negative $30.80. Look at the trade now. It's only a negative $27.63, and it's fluctuating. So it has definitely turned into the profit side of the trade, which is awesome news, don't you think? Looking in a daytime chart, you can see the head and shoulders. You can see the support and resistance. You can see the pattern that this trade is doing on an up and down basis. And I can see that because of the trend that this has been doing, and remember, your trends are your friends, it will be turning around and going past our entry price and above it into the take profit. Now, when it gets around 300 to 500 pips above my entry price, I'm going to move this stop loss so I will not lose any of the profit from it turning around and going back down. It's just a way to be very manageable with the trades. I know I told you a lot of information in this short time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my screen share and see if there are any questions. Very good. Where do I get my signals? I have 5 different areas I get the signals from. One is Stevenson Lindor. The other is Orrin Wright. These 2 gentlemen are actually with iMarkets Live as educators. They will teach you from beginner all the way to advanced how to mark your charts and see where the signals will be taking you. Another person is Christopher Terry, who happens to be the CEO of iMarkets Live. And he has over 25 years of trading experience. So he has the experience as well as the knowledge to be able to put your finances into very good hands. My 4th area of expertise would be Tracy Walker, who goes through MBA summits as well as webinars, teaching and showing how to mark up your charts, find your signals, find your entry price, your stop loss, your take profit, when to get in and when to get out. And she is wonderful at it. You cannot go wrong once you learn this skill. And the final place I find my signals is Swipe Trades, which is an IML app that is in your smartphone that gives you text messages telling you what the next swipe trade will, an idea of where it will be. Now keep in mind, to have access to all of these, you need to be in iMarkets Live. So you need to sign up. If you're not wanting to do that, it's fine. You can continue to watch me and I'll show you how to trade with a naked chart. So no indicators, and anyone can do it. So if I can do it, so can you. Now I'll pause a moment and let some questions come in. Going once, going twice, and gone. Thank you for joining me one more time, and you go have a fantastic remainder of your day or morning, wherever you might be in the world when you see this. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.